everyone. Hope you're doing well. My name is Emma Richard, and today I'm here with Allison Bruhn and Roshni Singh on Zoom, obviously, to talk about GRPs and TRPs as they relate to digital advertising analytics. Roshni will start us off with a run through of GRPs, and then Allison will take us through TRPs, and I'll wrap us up with an overview of both to hopefully solidify your understanding. With that, here's Roshni to take us away.
Hi everyone, my name is Roshni, and today I'm going to be talking about GRPs. So, what is a GRP? Well, GRP is a term used in advertising, and it stands for gross rate point. It is a measurement that the media uses to determine how and where to place advertisements. It quantifies impressions as a percentage of the target audience and frequency. Buyers often want to target a certain amount of audience. Say the buyer wanted to have a 200 GRP. It would be up to the buyer to figure out the timing and network where they would want to advertise to achieve that goal. There are two main components to calculating GRP. Reach, which consists of the amount of people that it would likely reach and the amount of people in that audience. The second is frequency, which is the number of times the ad is played. How do you calculate a GRP? Well, a GRP is a simple calculation. Reach is the number of people that will likely be exposed to the ad. The reach can also be expressed as a percentage. The original reach number would be divided by population that is exposed to the ad. This number would represent the reach percentage. This number is then multiplied by frequency, which is the number of times the ad was played. So an example calculation to calculate GRPs would be if we were to have 40,000 people see the ad out of 100,000 target audience, and we would play this ad 3 times. The reach would be calculated with 40,000 divided by 100,000 times 100 to reach the 40% reach. And this would be multiplied by 3 to get 120 gross rate points, or GRPs. Many times the predicted reach percentage can be above 100% because more people saw the ad than was predicted. So you might ask, how does someone know the amount of people they are targeting? Well, the Nielsen media research firm gives these estimates. They take a random sample of the population in the US and base their numbers off of daily reportings from their households. This ensures that the sample is representative of the entire population with gender, age, geography, race, cable status, and other characteristics. When Nielsen measures how many people viewed the program in the entire population, this is known as impressions. So when comparing a TV program GRP to ad GRPs, a lot of times the GRP for ads is higher. This is because when calculating GRPs, you multiply it by frequency. Since a program is played once, the frequency does not get multiplied, and thus the GRP is lower. Since ads do get played more often, they have a higher GRP. GRPs only tell you how many people viewed the ad. It does not give any information as to how it was received by the audience or how successful the ad was. Sales numbers can help with determining whether a high GRP means high sales volumes, and they can use this to make estimates for future ad placements. So why do GRPs matter? Even though it is an estimate, it helps to make business decisions as to how and where to place ads. With GRP estimates combined with other techniques, businesses are able to achieve their goals. So this wraps up my part for GRPs, and now I'm going to hand it over to Allison to talk about TRPs. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name's Allison, and I'm going to be talking to you about TRPs. So, what is a TRP? TRP stands for Target Rating Points, which focuses on the gauging performance for a specific targeted audience within the advertising industry. The goal of a TRP, however, is to take the calculations of the GRP and dive into that with a more specific target audience. This means if the GRP is looking into an advertisement placement, let's say in Colorado, then the TRP will calculate the target market within that Colorado area who they are specifically trying to reach. The components that make up TRPs are the exact same as GRPs, except for a little twist. Reach and frequency are used in this very simple calculation while specifically looking at the target market that the ad is trying to reach. Reach equals to the total number of people that the company is trying to have their ad be shown to within their target market, and the frequency is the total number of times that their ad is going to be ran. By taking these two numbers and bringing them together, we are able to calculate the TRP. So here is the formula for how to calculate TRP. It is the same exact formula as calculating the GRP, but here we are specifically looking into their target market. So we are going to take the percentage of the target market that has the ad that is going to, and then we are going to multiply that by the number of times that the ad has been seen, or how many times that they are going to play the ad itself. For this calculation, let's look at a quick little marketing campaign for a boutique called Pink Willy. This is an Instagram ad for a clothing boutique that frequently pops up on my Instagram feed. After doing some further research on them as a company, their target market is females between the ages of 20 to 35 years old who have a financial income high enough to shop their online store. Assuming that their ad will be shown a total of 5 times on their Instagram feed, you will take the 0.3 or the 30% reach, multiply it by 5, and then multiply that by 100 to get a TRP of 150. Target rating points are similar to gross rating points, but this is why TRPs are especially important. While GRP measures potential impact for the general audience, TRP focuses on gauging performance for a specific targeted audience. Like gross rating points, TRPs are used in media planning and buying, where it serves as a convenient way to A, gauge the potential effectiveness of an ad campaign, B, track the efficiency of ad budget spending, or C, compare the viability of different advertising channels. So currently, what's going on in the world is in Mumbai, India, key advertisers and media agencies are closely tracking and reevaluating media spends on television, especially news channels, which have been accused of tampering with their targeting rating points. After hearing a complaint from a TV viewership measurement agency, Mumbai police found that in fact TRP manipulation by some channels were occurring. What ended up happening was 3 specific companies were paying households where they knew their viewership monitoring meters were being placed to rank up their TRP count by having them purposely watch the ad that they were showing. Due to this, advertisers are now worried about putting money on news channels in fear that their TRP ratings will not be correct as they are hoping for. So now I'm going to hand it off to Emma, and she's going to finish out the rest of our presentation.
Thank you, Roshni and Allison, for running us through GRPs and TRPs. Let's take a bit of a deeper dive to compare the two. GRPs and TRPs are sometimes referred to interchangeably, which doesn't help to make them any less confusing. The way that I think of it, GRPs are the entire pool of people that an ad campaign reaches, regardless of whether or not those people are in the target market. Basically, GRPs are just looking at the entire pool of people who see an ad, no matter who they are. TRPs, on the other hand, are a refinement of that because they are in reference only to the people who are in the target audience. TRPs are a refinement or subgroup of GRPs. GRPs are the whole group of people. TRPs are only the target audience. In somewhat of recent news, in 2015, Facebook launched a new ad campaign to go after TV money in a big way. They allowed advertisers to buy Facebook video ads the way they used to back in the 1950s, or how they usually would buy TV ads, which is by using GRPs. This led to a shift in the way digital advertising has been done online and has been done through social media by using GRPs. Facebook's shift in 2015 was one of the first of its kind, and it allowed Facebook to really monetize the huge number of people using its platform, with many other online channels following its trend of using GRPs to sell online ad space. And a little bit more recent news than that, Another example of how GRPs are used today relates to the political climate with the election we're in the midst of at the moment. How are the two different parties spending their money? How do they know the potential reach of their political ads? Well, in Alabama, the total Democratic effort has spent nearly 7 million to the GOP's 5.8 million. But in measuring gross rating points rather than dollars, Democrats have an edge of nearly 100,000 points to 36,000 points. That's because Democrats are relying on TV spending from the candidate, while Republicans are leaning primarily on outside groups. In Georgia, Texas, and Kansas, Democrats spent less but have more GRPs. In Michigan and Kentucky, that script is flipped, with Republican ads scoring more GRPs. And that metric allows you to take a good look at the impact of the overwhelming amount of ads between the two candidates. Almost 600,000 GRPs have been purchased in Iowa. This is important because it shows that GRPs are used in tracking the reach of ad campaigns, even still today, in something as important in the election. Let's look at some industry trends. GRPs have been used for TV ad planning and measurement since the 1950s and are also used for all sorts of other traditional advertising like radio, print, and billboards. However, it's no shocker that advertisers are spending money in moving away from those traditional sources of advertising toward ad spending online. With this shift, while GRPs and TRPs are still used, views can be tracked differently than they used to be with the customer's online presence. These metrics might become slightly less relevant over time simply because of the vast array of other data metrics that companies can track for any given ad online. So how do we bridge the gap between traditional and digital advertising channels? Well, multi-channel media plans are often built using GRPs and TRPs to connect both linear and digital advertising, allowing planners to create one cohesive plan. Using a standard form of measurement across traditional and digital buys allow advertisers to compare the value of traditional mediums to different online channels, such as programmatic video, advanced TV, and digital audio. An impression calculator can help you convert GRPs to impressions to use on a multi-channel media plan. While GRPs have been used since seemingly forever ago, they can be adapted to be used today despite all of the other metrics that can also be tracked about ad campaigns online. Overall, the downfall of both TRP and GRPs is that they're projections, with no guarantees that the estimated audience will actually be reached or that they will actually pay attention to the ad. On the other hand, these metrics are used in media planning and buying, serving as a convenient way to gauge the potential effectiveness of an ad campaign, which can justify spending money on an ad or can compare the viability of different advertising channels. Thank you for your attention throughout the presentation, and please feel free to reach out to any of us with questions, comments, or further discussions about the topic. Here is where we got our information from, and we appreciate your attention. Thank you.